You would never confuse the Porsche Boxster with an elephant. It neither looks, nor acts, nor smells like one. Yet whenever considering the merits of the Audi TT Roadster, the baby Porsche plays pachyderm, a grey presence lurking in the room. The Boxster feels faster, is more agile, and, many would say, is better looking than its four-ringed cousin. And while the Porsche also is more expensive, the margin is probably not great enough to discourage anybody who is determined to buy the best compact German Roadster. Yet the reality of the TT Roadster has always diverged considerably from its portrayal as a dynamic also-ran. This is the thoroughly sensible open-topped sports car, a definition that verges on the oxymoronic but is nevertheless an urge that previous generations of TT Roadster have successfully colonized. Like the third-generation TT coupe, the new Roadster combines a decent dose of both style and practicality, and it marries respectable athleticism with the reassurance delivered by an all-wheel drive chassis. As such, like its predecessors, it's a sporty car for people who don't want an actual sports car. Time to acknowledge another room-dwelling half-lamp, the fact that, for many potential buyers, the way the TT Roadster drives is likely to be relatively low on the list of priorities. And while the third-generation TT can't match the shock value of the original's bulbous, Bauhaus-inspired form, it's still a handsome machine. Indeed, its lowness and the tightness of its overhangs are proof of how far the Volkswagen Group's modular MQB architecture can be stretched. The cabin is very well finished and feels more spacious than a Boxster's. Switchgear is minimal, the HVAC controls are built into the central air vents, and many functions are controlled by the AMMI interface and the vast virtual cockpit display screen that sits in front of the driver. This is likely to be one of the most controversial elements of the car. As we've commented before, it's mostly invisible from the passenger seat, giving the cabin a distinctly undemocratic vibe. But for some, the vast, 12.3-inch screen, its smooth scrolling graphics, and the ability to configure it in different ways will tip the scales in favor. As always with modern Audis, the streaming Google navigation, which gives a similar perspective to having your own low-level drone beaming images in high definition, is particularly impressive. This TT Roadster carries on where its predecessors left off. It's no Porsche Boxster, and that will lead many to regard it as being insufficiently focused. Yet for some it will continue to be perfectly compromised.